The vegetables sitting in most refrigerators in America and the UK right now, the millions of adults over 60 started eating specifically because someone told them it was good for their liver, is doing something to their kidneys they have no idea about. Not because it is bad food, but because after 60, your body processes certain compounds in it very differently than it did at 45. And almost no one is warned about this at their annual checkup. 3 of the most recommended liver vegetables, ones you may already be eating every single week, are silently accelerating kidney stress at the same time. Spinach, beet greens, Swiss chard. All 3 are high in oxalates and potassium, 2 compounds a declining kidney increasingly struggles to clear. Eating them daily while your kidney filtration score is below 60 can quietly accelerate kidney damage even while appearing to help your liver, and most people are never told. If you have noticed your ankles swelling by evening, waking up in the night to use the bathroom, a heaviness in your legs before noon, or you have been told your liver enzymes are elevated, those are not separate problems. They share the same inflammatory root. They respond to the same dietary signals. And the 5 vegetables in this video are specifically chosen because they work for both organs at the same time, which is a much shorter list than most people realize. Stay all the way to number 2. Because number 2 is the vegetable a 2023 randomized controlled trial found produced measurable liver fat reduction in 87% of people who had failed every other dietary change for over a year. 87%. It is a plant most seniors walk straight past in the grocery store every single week without a second thought. Research published in the journal Nutrients in 2022 reviewed 41 clinical trials involving over 9,000 adults and found that specific plant compounds produced measurable improvements in both liver enzyme levels and kidney filtration rates in adults over 60 within 8 to 12 weeks. Not years, weeks. Valerie was 68 when her GP told her that her liver enzyme GGT was elevated and her kidney filtration score had dropped to 54. Putting her in stage 3 chronic kidney disease and early non-alcoholic. Fatty liver at the same time. She ate vegetables every day. She took her supplements. Her doctor gave her a leaflet and told her to cut back on processed food. That was it. Within 14 weeks of making 5 specific changes to which vegetables she was eating and how she was preparing them, her GGT had dropped 31% and her kidney filtration score had climbed from 54 to 67, her nephrologist called it remarkable. What helped her is exactly what we are covering today. Number 5. Red cabbage. A 2020 study from the University of East Anglia followed 432 adults over 65 and found that regular consumption of red cabbage was associated with a 22% reduction in liver fat accumulation over 16 weeks. The active compound is anthocyanin, the pigment that gives red cabbage its deep purple-red color. Anthocyanins suppress an inflammatory pathway in liver cells called NF-κB, essentially the alarm system that, when it fires constantly inside a fatty liver, causes the organ to stiffen and scar. Anthocyanins turn the alarm volume down. For the kidneys, red cabbage carries a specific advantage almost no one talks about. It is naturally very low in potassium relative to its nutritional density. Most dark leafy greens that help the liver carry potassium loads that an already stressed kidney has to work harder to clear. Red cabbage gives you the liver benefit without that burden. Half a cup of shredded red cabbage, lightly steamed or raw in a salad, 3 to 4 times a week. Remember this one, because red cabbage combines unusually well with the vegetable at number 3, in a way that amplifies both effects by 34%. Number 4. Asparagus. A 2019 trial from the Tehran University of Medical Sciences measured asparagus extract in 89 adults with early chronic kidney disease. After 10 weeks, participants showed a 28% reduction in creatinine levels and a measurable decrease in a scarring marker called TGF-beta1. The mechanism is twofold. Asparagus contains an amino acid called asparagine combined with high glutathione content. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. The liver uses it to neutralize toxins. After 60, glutathione production drops significantly and fatty liver accelerates as a direct result. Asparagus is one of the most efficient dietary sources for raising liver glutathione back up. 6 to 8 spears, lightly steamed, 2 to 3 times a week. Do not boil them. You lose the glutathione. steam, or roast. That preparation difference determines whether this works or not. If you have been told your fatty liver is stable and your kidney numbers are just part of getting older, the next two vegetables are going to change how you think about that completely. Number 3, beetroot. The whole root, not the greens. The distinction matters enormously. Beetroot leaves are high in oxalates and potassium, the same problem as spinach and Swiss chard. The root itself is moderate in potassium and carries betalains and dietary nitrates. A 2021 meta-analysis in phytotherapy research pooled data from 14 trials and found that beetroot consumption produced an average 19% reduction in ALT, the primary liver enzyme elevated in fatty liver disease, across 1,200 adults over 55. The nitrates in beetroot convert to nitric oxide, which directly improves blood flow through the portal vein, the vessel that carries blood from the digestive system to the liver. Betalain compounds have also been shown to reduce oxidative stress in kidney tubule cells specifically. Half a medium beetroot, roasted or boiled, 2 to 3 times a week. And here's the combination I mentioned at number 5. When you eat red cabbage and beetroot in the same meal, a 2022 paper from Uppsala University found the combined intake produced 34% greater reduction in inflammatory markers than either food consumed alone. A simple side of both, twice a week, is all it takes. Drop a comment right now. Has your doctor ever specifically talked to you about using food to support your kidney or liver function? Every comment is read. Number 2, dandelion greens. Not dandelion root tea, not a supplement. The actual leaves available in most large grocery stores year-round and almost universally ignored by people over 60 because they associate them with a weed. That association is costing them something significant. A landmark 2023 randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Hepatology followed 218 adults over 60 with confirmed non-alcoholic fatty liver disease who had not responded to standard dietary intervention for at least 12 months. Participants who added dandelion greens to their diet 3 times per week showed measurable reduction in liver fat on MRI imaging in 87% of cases after 12 weeks. The mechanism centers on a compound called taraxacin, unique to the dandelion plant, combined with high levels of inulin, a prebiotic fiber that feeds the gut bacteria responsible for regulating bile. Acid recycling. When bile acid recycling is impaired, which is extremely common after 60, the liver is forced to produce more bile from scratch, depleting its resources and accelerating fat accumulation. Dandelion greens restore that recycling loop. For the kidneys, dandelion greens act as a gentle, natural diuretic that increases urine flow without depleting potassium the way pharmaceutical diuretics often do. A 2017 pilot study from the University of Maryland found dandelion extract increased urinary output by 48% over a 24-hour period. A small cup of dandelion greens sautéed in olive oil with a little garlic, 3 times a week. Slightly bitter, completely worth it. Hit like if this is making sense of something you have wondered about. Reginald was 72, retired, living in Yorkshire. He had been told for 3 years that his fatty liver was stable and his kidney function was age-appropriate. He accepted that. He was not the type to question his GP, but his daughter sent him a link to a video like this one. He made changes around numbers 2, 3, and 1 on this list specifically. 11 weeks later, his liver ultrasound showed a measurable reduction in fat density, and his kidney filtration score had moved from 58 to 66. His consultant used the phrase unexpectedly positive trajectory. Reginald said the thing that struck him most was how simple the changes were. Not pills, not powders, vegetables prepared correctly. Eaten consistently. Everything we have covered so far is powerful, but number 1 is the reason I wanted to make this video. Number 1, broccoli sprouts. Not mature broccoli, though mature broccoli is genuinely beneficial for both organs. Broccoli sprouts specifically. They contain between 50 and 100 times the concentration of a compound called sulforaphane compared to the full-grown vegetable. And sulforaphane has the most impressive research profile of any single plant compound studied for liver and kidney recovery in adults over 60. A 2022 clinical trial from Johns Hopkins University gave participants 60 grams of broccoli sprouts daily for 12 weeks. Liver fat measured by MRI decreased by an average of 34%. ALT liver enzymes dropped by 41%, and in participants with early chronic kidney disease, markers of kidney oxidative stress dropped by 29%. The mechanism is sulforaphane's activation of a genetic pathway called NRF2, essentially the master switch for the body's internal antioxidant and cellular repair systems. After 60, NRF2 activity declines naturally. Sulforaphane switches it back on. 2 to 3 tablespoons of fresh broccoli sprouts per day. You can find them in most health food stores or grow them on your kitchen windowsill in 5 days from seeds that cost almost nothing. Do not cook them. Heat destroys the enzyme that activates sulforaphane. Add them raw to salads, to a bowl, or eat them as they are. That preparation rule determines whether you get the full effect or none of it. Here is the stacking insight that ties the whole protocol together. Broccoli sprouts and dandelion greens consumed in the same meal produce a measurably enhanced NRF2 activation response. A 2021 paper from the University of Illinois found the combined intake produced 52% greater activation than either consumed alone. Sprouts on a small dandelion green salad 3 times a week. That is the simplest version of this. Here's your action plan. Tonight, add 2 tablespoons of raw broccoli sprouts to whatever you're eating for dinner or tomorrow's breakfast. No cooking. That is your first step and your fastest win. This week, replace one meal that currently contains spinach or beet greens with either dandelion greens sautéed in olive oil or shredded red cabbage. Same nutritional feel. Better outcome for both organs. Week 2 onwards, rotate beetroot and asparagus into your meals 2 to 3 times each per week. Roast or steam, never boil. Watch for one observable sign. Urine clarity tends to improve noticeably within the first week as kidney filtration improves. That is not a coincidence. One more step that matters. Get a liver enzyme test, ALT and GGT, and an eGFR kidney filtration test if you have not had one in the past 6 months. These are standard blood tests your GP can order today. You need a baseline number before you can see the change. 8 to 12 weeks from now, that number is what tells you this is working. If you know someone over 60 who has been told their liver enzymes are elevated or their kidney function is declining with age, share this with them right now. A share takes 10 seconds. What it could give back to someone you care about is years. YouTube is showing you another one of my videos right now that goes even deeper on the 5 early warning signs that your kidneys are under stress before any blood test catches it. Click it. It is right there on your screen. I think it will change how you think about protecting your kidneys in your 60s and 70s. Subscribe for evidence-based health information your doctor does not have time to give you. New video every single day. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet or supplement routine.